Imagine a place where waves dance along shores, lush mountains hold relics of the past, and the spirit of aloha fills the air. Hi, I'm Ashley Day, and I was stationed in Hawaii for 4 years, and it's still my favorite assignment that I've ever had. Today I'll be talking about how we can stabilize Hawaii's culture, their ecosystem, and provide them with respect, and just preserve the islands so that way they aren't destroyed and future generations can also enjoy them. I'll be talking about their ecosystem, some of their culture, as well as some tourism facts, and talk about some of the environmental efforts that are going on right now. Around and in Hawaii, they have lots of different animals. Some of the animals that you may find around in the waters are whales, dolphins, sharks, the endangered green sea turtle, as well as the endangered Hawaiian monk seal. According to the National Wildlife Federation, over 90% of the green sea turtles population has decreased. This is due to overfishing and just destroying the ecosystem that they need in order for them to thrive in their environment. Hawaii also has protections on their animals that are in and around the islands. According to NOAA Federation, they are federally protected, so that means if you harass, harm, or even touch any of the animals on the islands or around the waters, you can face fines or even prison time. Hawaii has beautiful coral reefs that are unfortunately also being destroyed a lot by tourism. In one specific spot called Hanauma Bay, tourists are standing on the coral, and you can't do that. It will not only cut up your feet, but it literally destroys the coral because coral is a living creature. And Hawaii right now is attempting to preserve their coral reefs, especially in Hanauma Bay, this popular tourist attraction. You might find it hard to see, but some tourists right here are all standing on the coral reefs, and this has destroyed many of the coral that live in Hanauma Bay, and people get their foot cut, and it's just destroying a beautiful place for tourists to enjoy, as well as the locals, because this is their home. Even with all the animals and the beautiful land that's around, Hawaiians hold that sacred to them. All forms of life in Hawaii are sacred, to include the islands, the skies, the ocean, the plants, and all the animals were created by their gods. They have what's called a makua, which is a family personal god or deity, and these usually take on the form of a family's basically spirit animal. So you can see a version of this if you have seen Disney's movie Moana, where the grandmother turns into a stingray once she's passed on. They're there to protect their family and watch over them, and the families are not supposed to harm or eat their makua. As well as with their gods, one of their gods is named Pele. She is their volcano goddess, and it is said that if you take any part of the land, especially their lava rocks or some sand, she will curse you, and you will be cursed until you return what it is that you stole from the island back to Hawaii. Due to the beautiful landscape of Hawaii, there is a lot of tourism and people just wanting to live there in general, so it's caused a lot of overcrowding. Hawaii has the 13th most populated state in the US, and this has increased its cost of living, which then increases homelessness, and it also has created lots of traffic congestion, which I sat in 4 hours worth of traffic there once, and it also has caused overfishing. Due to the overfishing, there are conservation efforts going on right now, where some of the local communities and organizations are trying to stop the overfishing that's happening because it is ruining the ecosystem, and the ecosystem is needed not just for our oceans but for the animals to thrive and for Hawaii to keep its beauty. They also have invasive species efforts that are going on. Did you know that Hawaii doesn't have rabies and they don't have snakes? This is because they put many protections on the island. So if you're flying into the island, you actually have to fill out a form saying you won't bring any invasive species or animals that are not allowed, such as like hedgehogs aren't allowed there. And so if you are planning to travel or move there, you need to make sure that your pet is actually allowed there. They don't have rabies, as I stated, so if you are going to move there, you have to either have your animal in quarantine once they've had their rabies and all the paperwork. You'd land and your animal will be in quarantine for a certain period of time, and then you can go and get them, or you will need to start the process very early to ensure that way that they can move in immediately with you once you get there. In order to safeguard the beauty of Hawaii and respect the people and their culture, we need to understand how to go about being better tourists on their islands. We need to respect their culture, make sure we're respecting the animals and cleaning up after ourselves and not leaving trash or anything, so that way it can continue to thrive.